ndi umupastori Remera nyobora international. I was blessed to work with Emmanuel for almost 2 or 3 years in the same office, and great man of God and very serving, time-minded person. It's just warakoze cyane kuntumira kugira ngo twongere tuganire. So the topic you gave me, nizera ko I think everyone is seeing my slides.
You can use slideshow kugira ngo tubone one slide at a time.
Yep. Good.
Perfect. You can see now.
Yeah. Why nurturing servant leadership is important. Nzajya mvanga indimi uko mbishoboye. Nateguye mu Cyongereza ntegura ubwo nshobora gukomeza mu ndimi zombi nimba ntacyo bitwaye.
Cyane rwose n'igifaransa ukiremo.
I think I will use more English than French. So thank you so much. Ndabashimiye kubwi topic mwampaye. It's a very good topic, and I will say also a very challenging topic. I want just to start with defining leadership, because kugira ngo tubashe ku understanding iriya topic, I said let's first define the variables zirimo arizo leadership and servant leadership. Leadership is a process of influence. Ibyo byose murabizi ko umuyobozi is not a matter of position, it is a matter of influencing others. Anytime you seek to influence the thinking, behavior, or development of a people in their personal or professional lives, you are taking on the role of leader. So, Lead Like Jesus Christ. It's a very good book. So, true leadership emerges from the motivation of helping or saving others. But what is about the servant leadership? The term servant leader was first coined in 1970 by Robert Greene. How can someone be a leader and still be a servant? That was his problem. When we talk about a leader, it's about power, it's about prestige, is about to be the first person to do the decision, is about a leader mbere yuko developing your leadership as a servant. Leadership was about productivity, it was about making things done. Ariko hibagirwa ikintu cya component that leadership is about people. Is about people. Niyo mpamvu even the Bible talks about leadership, like servant leadership. That in the book I read about leading like Jesus, they say that there are references regarding servants ni inshuro 1552. Mu gihe umuyobozi, a leader, Moses my servant, Joshua my servant, the prophets my servants. Now my leaders, he always mentioned servants. But today's issue is that most people want to become leaders, but few want to be servants. You would like to use their power, prestige to overrule others. But what about Jesus Christ? Yes, we have about this servant leadership. In Matthew chapter 20, 25 to 27, they just called them together and said, you know that the rulers of the Gentiles lord over them, and they high officials exercise authority over them. Not with you. I like this word. Instead, whoever wants to become great umuntu ushaka kuba ukomeye among you must be your servant. There is a must. There's no negotiation. If you want your organization to grow and be great, if you want to be a great leader, there is a must. You must serve the people whom you lead. In a negotiation, you know what? Yes, in principle, Jesus Christ. If you want to be great, why it is important to nurture servant leadership. If you want to be great people, if you want to have great organizations, if you want to have great churches, if you want to have great ministries, there is one requirement. It is to be servants. So we can define servant leadership as the leadership that serves others first. Most of leadership, I've been working in an institution that the leaders want to be first. The leaders want to eat first. The leaders want the chairs first. The leaders want to be honored first. The leaders, it's just, when you become a leader, is like you want everybody to serve you. But this man, like Robert said in his book, he said, servant leadership, you have to serve others first. It is the leadership that promotes the good service to the people. The reason why we have to nurture the servant leadership in today's organizations is because iki gihe cya none, people will go where there is a good service instead of having a great man or wherever great leader. Bazajya babona service. And the organization grow if the top leader is the one who is giving the service. So the culture, like African culture or Rwandan culture, sometimes when you are a top guy, you want everybody to serve you, to give you coffee, to give you tea, to pull a chair and you sit. Because this might be a culture, like, but Jesus' culture is when you are a leader, give the chair first, give tea first, give the, promote people first, say good things about people first, let people be first, instead you as a leader. So the servant leadership, he seeks the interest of others before its own, before his own interest. The great word I loved about this is the servant leadership. It is leading with humility and gentleness. What if every leader is leading his organization with humility and gentleness? I think everyone will love to serve that leader. Buri muyobozi wese yashaka gukoresha umuyobozi uyobora afite guca bugufi kandi uyobora afite ubugwaneza. Yesu yaravuze ngo ndi umugwaneza mu mutima ngo munyigireho. Come and learn from me because I am gentle in my spirit. So people sometimes say, when you are a servant, you don't have power. Kuko ubundi bavuga a servant ni umugaragu ukorera abandi. Ni gute ariko umuntu yaba umugaragu kandi akaba n'umuyobozi? Some leaders are afraid of this type of leadership because they don't lose their power. But again, the servant leader has the power, but it is a certain power exercised with humility. Hano uyu mugabo witwa Robert yaravuze ngo water has the power, amazi afite imbaraga, but also water can be gentle. You can go in the water and you ukoga ukagira gute. Water can be very gentle, but also water can be very powerful. It can move mountains. Uyu munsi nza ku rusengero nanyuze mu muhanda sanga hari aho umuhanda waguye mu muhanda amazi yatwaye umuhanda ugusha mu muhanda, mbega yatwaye kind of a hill, akantu kameze nk'umusozi, karawutwara akawushyira mu muhanda, bituma dusubirayo. Izo ni imbaraga z'amazi. Umuyobozi rero who have a servant heart, he still has the power of decision. Ariko we, he shares his power. We will see why it's so important to make this servanthood. Servant leadership components, there are about 5 components, 6 components I would like to share with you of servant leader. They value people. You cannot value people when you're not servant. The bossy leaders don't value people. What they value productivity. They value what the staff bring to the organization. They value the degrees or the expertise of the staff, but they don't value people as people. That's why someone can be sick, and when umuyobozi akavuga ati it doesn't matter, umugore akaba atwite avuga ati ndashaka kugenda, undi akavuga ati no. They value people. They trust and believe in others, save others' need before his or her own. Listen with openness and without judgment. So they develop people also. A servant leader develop people. You cannot develop people when you are bossy, because you don't want everybody else to come around you. You want to, I am a boss. I am the chairman of this company. I am the senior pastor of this church. He will not develop them. He will not send people to school. He will not train people to have expertise he has. And this type of leader provides opportunities for learning and grow. He models model appropriate behavior and encourages and affirms others. Uyu muyobozi are developing people by giving them opportunity, by helping them to grow, by becoming a model, by encouraging them, by affirming them. This type of leader also builds community, builds strong personal relationships. He is not isolated. A boss leader is isolated. He doesn't talk to person. Ubundi bavuze ko umuyobozi uri servant leader, he stops in the hall. He stops in the hall, aragenda agahagarara mu biro agasuhuza abantu. How are you doing? How's the family? How are your children? How is everyone at home? How can I help you? Nagufasha gute? Because he wants the community around him. But a boss leader pushes the community away. He doesn't want the community. He doesn't want people to come around him. This is the type of leader. So he works collaboratively with others, value others' differences. Ntabwo abasitafu bacu bose ari bamwe, ntabwo abantu badukorera bose ari bamwe. Niyo mpamvu yes, niyo mpamvu usanga nk'umuyobozi uba ukwiriye kumenya abantu uyobora uko bameze. Display authenticity, demonstrate openness and accountability, and willing to learn from others and maintain integrity and trust. Provide leadership. Their leaders, servant leadership should show the vision for the future. Can you imagine being in an institution that you don't know what is happening? You don't know what will happen tomorrow. You don't know what will happen in 1 month. You meet your staff and you don't tell them what will happen next month. There is no plan, clear plan. You are an institution that you don't know anything about the future of your organization. So this type of leader takes initiative to lead, and he clarifies goals to facilitate accomplishment. The Bible says, if we don't have a vision, my people perish because of ignorance or lack of the vision, lack of where people are going. People will perish. They will stumble. They don't know where they are going. They are going. So when you don't know where you are going, your organization will stumble, and you staff will stumble. And when they stumble with you. Umunyabwenge azikura aho hantu. Umunyabwenge azamenya ko there is no vision about this institution. So servant leader would cast a vision so that everyone will see where the organization is going. He share leadership. First, this servant leader, he has security, afite umutekano n'umuyobozi. Nayo mpamvu rero ubuyobozi bwe busangira n'abandi. Kandi ikindi n'imbaraga ze, he shares the power and limits central control. There is kind of ubuyobozi ugasanga there is central power. Ubuyobozi bwose yarabuzanye n'ubwe niwe wenyine, instead of giving others power, he centers all power on him. Again, he shares status and promote others. He shares status. What does that mean? Someone can come in a institution and say, you know what, you have done a great thing. You are a great person. And this man might get things, you know, all credits goes to this leader. But with the servant leader, he does not take all credits to himself. He says, I have a team. Everyone has contributed to this. These components of leadership, as servant leaders, we have to have them in our hearts. Servant leadership is people-oriented instead of task-oriented. So this means that they are leaders, you know, this is a task, you have to do it. I agree with it. But we have also to be mindful that people who are doing this task, they are people. They might have struggle, they might have a bad day, they might struggle with skills. Is there any way you can help? So again, it used power to save others and instead of saving itself. This is the servant leadership. Akoresha imbaraga yahawe to save people, to save others. Aho kugira ngo imbaraga yahawe zimuserving. Why do we need this type of leadership? We need this type of leadership because if we don't have it, whatever we do, whatever we are building will stumble. It will not grow. It will stagnate. Bizaguma hariya rwose nta naho bizajya. Servant leader makes the employee healthier. And when they are healthier, the organization is healthier too. You see, the reason why we need this servant leadership into our systems, into our organization, is because we want the employees to be healthier and our organization to be healthier. Because if the organization does not have this servant leadership into the systems, into the HR or human in the administration, the administration will crumble. Zizagwa kubera ko Yesu yaravuze ngo if you want to be great, be a servant. And if you want to be weak, be bossy. Save like ubu umuntu nyine uri bossy ubwo uzashaka ko institution yawe izarangira ishireho. Ariko abantu, people who have been successful in life, they are people who have saved others. My prayer is that I will grow this leadership in myself, in my institution I am leading. Servant leadership motivates staff to give their best for the organization. By the way, servant leadership is what we call staff motivation. Abantu bajya biga bavuga ngo staff motivation, ugasanga bakoze na a big thesis. Maybe abari ahangaha mushobora gufata iriya nuza topic. You can say servant leadership and staff motivation, or servant leadership and company growth, or servant leadership and church growth. So servant leadership, ni nayo mpamvu Yesu Kristo buriya muvoma yatangiye yakuze. Nukubera ko yaravuze ngo ariko mwebweho siko biri. Abisi bo batwaza igitugu ariko mwebweho siko biri. Ushaka kuba mukuru abo mugaragu w'abandi. So servant leader is the foundation for effective leadership. The reason why we have to nurture servant leadership is because we want to be leaders who are very effective. Effective in every way. Effective in our communication, effective in decision making, effective in handling conflict. If we want to be effective leaders, we have to nurture servant leadership. But if we want to be an effective leaders, just be bossy. You will see what will happen. People will fight you. People will work with resentment. Even productivity will not be very high. Kuko burya, the followers will tend to serve people who serve them. But the followers will tend to not serve people who don't serve them. Bazakoresha ko bakeneye umushahara, bazakoresha ko bagukeneyeho identity, nkora mu kigo kimeze gutya. Ariko still they will not give their best. So we have to nurture the servant leadership because we want people to give us their best. Why is servant leadership important? This is so important because the led people feel respected when they are served with a humble spirit. So it is so important because it makes people respected. It makes people like we are respected. When people are respected, I would say, you will always have the best because they know this person, this leader respects us. Therefore, I can serve him because he respects me. It's always painful to serve a leader who does not respect his subordinate. The team knows where it is going instead of walking in the darkness. When you serve people, the servant leadership makes the team very energetic. And the team knows where we are going because Jesus has given all his vision to his disciples, to the people who was, he says, I'm going, but I will not leave you as servants, you see? No, as orphans, but I will send you the Holy Spirit, you see? Serving a leader who gives all information about what will happen is very easy. You can really serve him because you have the whole picture of that leadership. The servant leadership empowers others, and by doing this, the organization is empowered. So we have to nurture this servant leadership because we want our organization to be empowered, but also we want the staff to be empowered, and we want also to be empowered. The servant leadership values people, who they are, and what their aspirations. Nimba hari ikintu kibi ni ukugira umuyobozi who does not care about your passion, who does not care about your aspiration, who does not care about what can I say, what concerns you. Ugasanga ntibikureba. Nimba ufite passion ya mission, ukaba ufite umuyobozi, doesn't matter. Nimba ufite passion yo gukura muri iyi kariyeri, ugasanga ibyo ntacyo bimubwiye. So dukeneye kunaturinga servant leadership rero kugira ngo abantu badukorera bumve ko ari abantu bafite agaciro, bumve ko ari abantu duhaye agaciro ambition zabo na aspiration zabo. So it's so important because it creates synergy among the team. That's true. It creates collaboration. It creates kind of this what can I call it? This network. Where there is servant leadership, there is network among the staff or among subordinates, among the people you lead. But if you lead like a boss, your ships will be scattered. They will not be together. And if they're not to be together, who lose? Is the leader who lose. It will instill the high level of productivity in an organization. That's true. Uriya Petero avuga ngo nzagukurikira aho ujya hose, I will die. By the way, yari yabonye Yesu wari we. Nubwo byamunaniye, but he was willing to go extra mile. So nimba dushaka ko abantu badukorera bakurikira extra mile, we have to measure the servant leadership. They can give you the best. They can give you a very high productivity because they have seen something very important in you, which is serving them. The one who serves will have more followers than the one who leads with intimidation. That's true. The people who have great followers, they are people who are servants. Look about let's talk about like Jesus himself. Abaji batangiza movement zikomeye ba John Calvin or ba Martin King, bariya abantu bagiye bakora ibikorwa bikomeye. By the way, let's talk about our president who accepted even to come to, he was in America. He was willing to save his country, to save also his people by even risking his life. Look how he's most loved in even not only Africa, but also in Rwanda. Why? Because he has this kind of a heart to serve his own country. So if we save people, they will die to follow us. They will die to be with us. They will, what can I say? They will give their best because they know he's not serving people for his own interest. He's serving people for the interest of the community. It is by saving others that we grow with those whom we serve. That's true. I have to nurture servant leadership in me, in my organization, because when I do it, I grow with people. If I don't do it, I am diminished with people. Uko niko bimeze. Kuko ijambo rimavuga ngo ubundi servant leadership is opposite to pride, is opposite to kwishyira hejuru nyine murabyumva. Nuko uvuga iki rero ha. Biravuga ngo the more we push people down, the more we are pushed with them. The more we lift the people up by saving them, the more we are lifted together. So my prayer, dear friends, is that we will nurture this. Because if we nurture these servant leaders, I just want to tell you, I cannot promise you that you'll be more loved. Kuko uzikibazo uzagira se, those who are bossy, they will fight you. When you serve people and you have this heart to serve others, ikibazo uzagira, those who are bossy, they become very jealous. As Jesus, they were very jealous of Jesus. Others, Pharisees were very bossy. Bajyaga no mu mayira bambaye inyambaro to show their status, but Jesus was not like that. He was a servant. He was ready to wash the feet of his disciples. He was ready to let disciples Bibiliya ivuga ngo to share with them the meal, ku buryo abaga ari kumwe nabo ngo bakamuryama mu gituza. Hari abayobozi badashobora kwemerera ko baryama mu gituza. Bishatse kuvuga iki? A servant leader open his chest for his staff to come and they head on them. This is so powerful. If you are like this, you will have abakozi bawe cyangwa abantu mubana, they will be very loyal. The servant leadership works everywhere, even in the marriage. If you have this servant leadership, your wife will respect you more. Instead of being bossy in your house, you can serve your wife, you can serve your children, you can serve your neighborhood. And by doing that, you will have their heart. Whatever you will require of them, they are ready to give it. So, brother, saying this is very easy. I just want to tell you, I am learning. And my prayer is that I'll be a servant instead of leading with what? With power, with intimidation, or being bossy. Abantu bashobora kuvuga ngo ubaye umugaragu w'abakozi bawe bagusuzugura, ariko siko bimeze. Try to save your staff. Do something very simple. Save them coffee. Coffee break. Sometime we break. Go and buy some sambosa, and bring them some sambosa at their office. Enter in every office and save them. Look what they will say. Give them a call. Nimba yarwaje umwana. Give them a call. How is your child? How is your wife? Be there and be available and be a servant. You will see. People will be loyal to you. I want to give you an example. Servant leader he never loses influence. A servant leader never loses influence. By the way, he never loses his position, because the position that he has is not about title, is about saving others. Niyo mpamvu abayobozi baba ku buyobozi bamwe bakaruzinga followers, whereas others lose the position but still have followers. So being a leader, a servant leader, is the most important the most important tool we can have to grow ourselves, but also to grow others, or to grow an institution we lead. Murakoze, Imana ibahe umugisha. I think if you want to read the book, this is the book. I took this lesson from Ken Branchard and Phil about leading like Jesus. Lesson from everyone, from the greatest leadership model, law of all time, and Richard learning to lead. I know you are leaders and you have leadership books. YouTube or somewhere else, but I have one question. Am I leader in my head, servant leader in my head, or servant leader in my heart? May God bless you, brothers. And if there is, I am here a few minutes. If there is any question, I am ready to answer. Thank you.